Well, hello people. I'm going to tell you a story. Now this story belongs in the Twilight Zone. Of course you can choose to believe it or not. The person that told me this story, they believed it 100%. I could tell by the way they talked about it. Apparently this happened quite some time ago. It happened in a small town called Bakersfield. Well, of course, that's not the real name of the place, but it will suffice for now. There was nothing exceptional about this town. It had some stores, a small police force. The businesses were doing fairly well. It was quite a religious community. The emphasis was on family and marriage, children. There was a small bit of crime in the town and a couple of murders, but that certainly wasn't the norm for this place. Talking 10 years for the 2 murders. Generally, it was a quiet place. And then a person went missing. It was almost as if they were taken up by an alien ship. There was no clues at all, and they never found a body. And the investigation went cold, and life moved on in the small town again, until another person went missing. A very short while after that, another person went missing. These were male or femmes, generally of middle age, and once again they found no clues at all, or bodies. Of course, the small police department tried to keep it quiet, but people started going missing a lot, and the town found out about it, and some people got scared, because they never found any clues, any bodies, because these people were never seen again. But word had gotten out to bigger cities and towns about what was happening there, and a bigger investigation was demanded. So the big law enforcement people arrived in the town. They almost outnumbered the people. And the investigation went on for 8 months. But still, they couldn't find any bodies, any evidence, any reason at all for these people to go missing. It's only when an underground worker, a sewage worker, found a decomposed body that was finally identified as one of the missing people. But they had disappeared 4 years ago. But it had only been decomposing for probably a couple of months only. That's when the investigation took a bit of a sinister turn. This army of investigators swamped the sewer system in this small town. They made a meticulous search of the whole sewage system, and they found a man alive down there. He was trapped in some small cavern. His arms and legs had been pushed into the ground, up to the knee and elbow. He couldn't break free because the ground was like clay. He was identified by his relatives as one of the people that had gone missing 3 years ago. But the man was talking gibberish. He'd obviously gone completely nuts, and they couldn't make any sense about what he was saying. So they took him to the hospital, where he spent 6 months to recuperate and mend his body, which had strange puncture holes in his abdomen that for some reason weren't healing. But they finally got them to close up. But unfortunately, nothing could be done about his mind. It had gone. And then he was put in a mental institution. The investigation team down in the sewer found nothing else, except plenty of sewage. But there was one person who was very interested in what happened to this man. And he kept visiting him in the mental hospital. And though the man was absolutely, completely bonkers, lived in some kind of nanoland and talked gibberish, this man had no other visitors. His family gave up on him. But this inquisitive man went there so often, sometimes he seemed to make sense, if only for a couple of sentences, and then back to gibberish. And he's pieced it all together. It took him over 2 years. The town has completely forgotten about what went on. The sewage system was completely destroyed and a new one was built. Sort of wash away the old and bring in the clean. And nobody went missing again. At least, up until now. The town has gone back to its normal, sort of sleepy place. And people are people everywhere, and they forget. But these are the condensed notes of the man that was so interested in the people that went missing. Apparently, more than anybody else. These people apparently were all taken in the night. And they were all taken in the toilet area or the bathroom. These people couldn't see who took them, but their skin felt cold, slimy, and they were very, very strong. Apparently these creatures that took them could stand slightly upright, kind of stooped, had arms but no hands, and they were all taken down into the sewers, where they were held captive, but they weren't killed. These things, for the want of a better name, would bring them water and food to keep them alive. And the reason for that is, and you're going to think this is very weird, I myself can't get my head around it still, is they wanted their body waste. Apparently these things feed off of waste. They feed off all types of waste, but they find the human waste more desirable. These people were turned into sort of waste producers, food for these things. When I say these things live off of waste, I don't mean rotting sort of banana peels and things. It's definitely just body waste, poop. Where these things have gone or where they are, who knows? And I myself, thinking about it, think, well, there has been people gone missing and never found. Was it just in this small town they were? And where did they go? Did they die? The person that wrote down these notes believes that all the people probably died of natural causes, eventually, most likely from inactivity. Now, I've got a kind of a weird sense of humor. I'm kind of off-the-wall thinker as well. But this one has given me the heebie-jeebies. A thing that solely feeds off of poop. Sounds like a goddamn story Stephen King would write. I don't know, maybe he did. Maybe this guy's just screwing with me. Let me know what you think, guys. Take it easy.